Hello, this is Uncle Chucky, and let me position myself a little better here for this webcam. One of the advantages of using this old webcam, in spite of the fact it requires a lot more light, which is why this is a little darker than usual, is that I can do a lot more talking and use a lot less space. So, anyway, today we're going to make life interesting for people. Oh, we're going to make life interesting for a lot of people. This is something that I've been tinkering with for some time. And it's going to make some people really, really upset. But hey, that's life. Let them be upset. What is something that people are afraid of right now? Truly afraid. And in this case, legitimately. We're not talking about 2012 lunatics saying that the world is coming to an end or, that sort of nonsense. We're talking about legitimate fear, a legitimate concern. That concern is privacy and surveillance. And it's become like the weather. Everybody talks about it, but nobody can think of something to do about it. Well, that's not true. I am here to tell you that's not true, because with psionics, there's a lot we can do about it. See, psionics can do some really interesting things. With psionics, and I'm not going to do this because I have no desire to give the people watching this a headache, you can shoot a beam out of your eye at a camera for all practical purposes. We won't go into whether it's a literal beam or not, but for all practical purposes, you can shoot a beam out of your eye at a camera, and you will influence the person watching the video from that camera. This has been proven in the laboratory. Rupert Sheldrake has done the lab work. There's no question about this. And my friend Russ Disdar can say it's demons, but that's nonsense. This is a natural phenomena. We know it's a natural phenomena. We can prove it. We can replicate it. There is no question about this. No question at all. What implication is that for surveillance? Look at the camera. There's going to be someone ultimately behind that camera, even if they're not there physically. Somebody is going to be reviewing the video by whatever means it's recorded. You can fire a shot at that camera with malicious intent directed at the person viewing the video, and you will get a result. Now, it may not be dramatic right away. I mean, the person may not, sit in front of the video and go, "Oh, drop dead." That'd be kind of cool, but it's not like. But the cumulative effect of that, over and over and over again, will have an impact. And there's nothing they can do about it. Anyone who's behind a camera, a surveillance camera, is vulnerable. And there is no reason why you cannot exploit that vulnerability. And you just look at it. What are they going to do about it? It's not like they can stop you. That's the direct method. That's a simple, direct method. And it will work. Let me check the time. Okay. It will work. What is the next method? The next method is a protective thought form. Now, those of you who are familiar with my work and my writing know I put a lot of value in thought forms. A thought form is nothing but a programmed hunk of energy. That's all it is. In this case, you create one by whatever means you choose, my method or somebody else's, it doesn't matter. Put it out there. Program it to attack anyone who puts you under surveillance. That's all you do. You don't have to know who they are. You don't have to know where they're from. You don't even have to know if they are. It's just there. If nobody does, nobody gets hit. If somebody does, they get their ass fried. Simple as that. Very simple. Again, there's nothing they can do about it. Absolutely nothing they can do about it. There's no legal immunity from psionics. The other thing, and now we get more complicated, now we get more direct. If you have evidence to believe, and make it real evidence, not just, I'm having, things to worry about because I have nothing better to worry about. But say you have a genuine reason to believe that you are under surveillance. For any reason. I make no distinction here. Treat it as you would treat a psychic attack. And how do we treat psychic attack? We counterattack. We don't just say, oh, woe is us, and let it go. We counterattack. There are any number of ways that can be done. The first, of course, is a thought form. The thought form is your first weapon of choice. You build it, you aim it, you fire it, like a psychic artillery shell. And then you build another one, and you aim it, and you fire it, like a psychic artillery shell. The next course of action is to use remote presence. This takes some skill. But if you've been working with psionics for any length of time, you pretty much can do it. And what you do is you put your psychic presence, and that can be through remote, straight remote, remote influence type stuff, remote viewing stuff, astral projection, traveling clairvoyance, as they used to call it, whatever works, whatever they call it, doesn't matter. You put that presence in the location where it is being done, and you build a specific attack thought form in that location. Its purpose is to attack the electronics. Electronics is very vulnerable to psychic attack. Build that thought form, and build it, and build it. And smash them. And of course, the final option. You target the people doing the surveillance. Again, thought form. Remote influence. I don't have to go into any details on that. You're familiar with my work. You can figure it out. But the way to deal with it is not to sit passively, not to moan and groan, not to say you can't fight City Hall. It is to attack, attack, attack. And there is no way you can be stopped. They are helpless against you. And once you recognize that, you can stop being afraid. Don't be afraid of them. Let them be afraid of you. Remember, if this stuff works, they have far more to fear from us than we ever have to fear from them. Well, that ought to make some people's hair stand on end. I hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed saying it. This is Uncle Chucky. Have a nice day.